Hey everyone, thanks for learning to play games. My name is Lance, and today I'm looking at a brand new game on Kickstarter called Catapult Kingdoms. This is a new one by Vesuvius Media, and in this series, this is a brand new series that I'm trying out, where I go through the Kickstarter page and take a look at some of the different options that they have available, and then let you know my thoughts on this. With this series, I've only had a couple of videos out so far, so this is a learning process for me, and I'd love to hear some feedback from you in the comments down below. Let me know how I'm doing, if you like these, if you don't, and if there's other things that I can add to these to make them better. I've already listened to some comments that I had from my previous set of videos with this, so you're going to see at the end of this video that I've added some additional content to it to let you know my opinions on this. I did a little bit of diving into the game itself and some of the information on the company in that to give you a more informed decision on this. I'm also going to give you my opinion on the game and whether or not I will back this one. Now, there is a couple of things that I like to point out. First off, I am a super backer. I've backed 315 games so far. Yes, I know I have a problem, but unfortunately, I don't have enough money to back everything. So even though in the videos I'll let you know whether or not I'm going to back this one or not, I may not be able to physically because of my monetary constraints, but just keep that in mind that this is just my thoughts on this. Second, these are just my opinions. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section down below as well. Let me know on yours if you want to back this, yes or no, and why or why not. In those comments would be great. Other than that, let's go ahead and dive in and start off with the very first thing that I like to check out is the trailer. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Okay, so with that one, as some of you that have watched these previous ones, I am a little critical on the trailer videos. I like to see, I don't mind if you throw some animation in there and that, but I want to know what the game's about. So with this one, they kind of show you some of the mechanics of the game, showing you how the different ballistas and catapults and all that work, which is really cool. But you really don't understand what the game is watching that video. So that's a minus for me. I would prefer to see a little bit more, even adding a little explanation at the end saying, these are your goals and this is what you're going to kind of do in the game. So from there, with this one, it's been out for a little while. It's got 10 days remaining as of recording this video. And it has smashed its goal. It is really done excellent. So, which is good to see. This is one that I've been watching for a while. I actually was in communication with the designer before he ended up joining Vesuvius Media, and I was going to do some coverage for this one, but we weren't able to get all the products in with all the stuff going on and all that, and then he decided to go with Vesuvius. So I wasn't able to cover it, but this is one I've been really looking forward to. It reminds me of a game I used to play when I was a kid, where you had these different catapults and ballistas and all that kind of stuff, and you had the little orange marbles that you were firing all over the place. I don't think we ever actually played it correctly. We just had a blast setting it up on both ends, and we're just firing things, and whoever could trigger all of the different things fastest was going to be the winner. So we never really read the rules or anything, but we had a blast doing that. So this definitely takes me back to my childhood, and that kind of premise with this game where you're just going to be shooting physical marbles and rubber bullets and trying to blow up your opponent's castle. So from there, let's go ahead and take a look at the different funding or different pledge levels. So we have a standard pledge at 35, and this is going to get you the standard edition of the game. You have the loyalty credit and any applicable stretch goals for that. The next option is a deluxe version, which gets you the base game and the Siege expansion, plus all the other stuff. For 110, you get 2 players all in. You get the base game, the Siege expansion, the Artificer's Tower expansion, the Volcano expansion, and the Vikings expansion. So there's quite a few expansions already, plus 2 game mats. And then they have a 120 retailer pledge. So if you're a retailer, you can get in on this. And a 4-player all-in family pack, which gets you a ton of stuff. So depending upon what you're looking for, and then there's a group pledge as well. So they have plenty of different options for this. From there, let's go ahead and dig into the game a little bit. So I went ahead and looked ahead on some of this. And the basic premise of the game is that each player is going to set up their castle. They have some cards that are going to add some different effects. And throughout the game, the premise of it is to knock all your opponent's figures down. The first player to do this is going to be the winner of the game. And of course, depending upon the expansions and stuff. But I just love this kind of concept. And as we get into some of the expansions and that, there's a ton more added to the game. So hopefully, or you could kind of do your own thing too, you can build all kinds of crazy castles out of that and really come up with some really unique things. So then it goes down into the weapons. You have the catapults, your trusty catapults, the ballista, and some battering rams, or the mighty plunger, as they call them. Then we have an animation of the catapult firing. It's multilingual, so you're going to have, depending upon the country you're from, you'll have a rulebook in there helping you out, which is nice. And the breakdown of what comes in the game. So you get the 2 catapults, the boulders, the action cards, the figures, and all the castle pieces, with a couple of unlocks already, and player boards. And then the other factions stuff, and the rulebook, and distance markers. Then the Siege expansion breaks down what that one is. So it adds 2 new ballistas to it. You get some more bullets, new action cards, new figures, and some new castle types. So we have some ramparts and stuff like that. Going down, we have the Artificer's Tower expansion. And this one has the battering rams, and we have the towers in there. That's awesome. Some new action cards as well. We have some stretch goals, the hive ammunition for it, and let's see. Wonder if I would assume we probably already hit those at this funding level. And then the stretch goals, so there's a ton of these, and each one of them, for the most part, is a small increment up. So they're not super impressive stretch goals, but there's plenty of them. So they're going to hit them, and they're going to hit a number of these that are going to be unlocked, which is nice. You don't have to be having, huge stretch goals if the monetary values there isn't big gaps between them. So you're going to get new bricks, new cards, more bricks and cards, so they're going to kind of bounce back and forth through these. Then the new weapons they're adding, so they're adding expansions to the game through the stretch goals and that, which is cool. Yeah, and they're still at, all the way up to there, they're still at 10,000 increments, so not bad for what you're getting. Then some of them, they even drop down to 5,000 increments for the cards. Very cool. 300, we have the figures and all the new pieces for that, and cards, and then that's where we're at right now. So we're on our way to 2 new action cards, and then at 360 there's a new siege mode. That's cool. I can't wait to see what that's all about. And then we have some more pictures and whatnots from that. So let's go ahead and scroll down. This is some of the prototypes and his children playing with stuff and videos. You can check out the rules, if that's always nice to be able to look at the rules. And All Out War. It's the different setups and that. For the player counts, reviews, we have Tantrum House. Awesome. It's good to see reviewers that are credible. Very nice. Stella is on there. And another reviewer, a foreign reviewer. I'm not familiar with him. Okay. So then we have the different pledge level breakdown. So it's going to show you what comes in each box, which is nice. This is a huge Kickstarter page. Wow. And we have your add-ons, neoprene mats, extra ammunition, always good, especially with these small little marbles and stuff, rubber bands, definitely, yep. Dice ammunition, and then the expansion. So we have the volcano expansion that's going to add new cards and the actual volcano with magma boulders. And this shows how that works. So it's almost kind of like a Fireball Island thing where you're dropping them in and they randomly shoot out in different directions, and then whatever they hit is removed. And there's a video for that. And then the Viking expansion. I love these miniatures. They're so cool. Great animation on them. Very, very comedic. And a Viking ship. That is awesome. Very cool. Great art. I love the art with these. So there's some new features with that as well. And then the shipping. So we have different friendly shipping rates. Let's see. There we go. There's the breakdown. So not too bad. 13.15 to US, Canada. Yeah, not bad at all. Some of them get a little higher. Yeah, some of them are a little higher, but let me know how these are for you guys that are outside of the US. If this is good. These look pretty decent for me, obviously for the US, but even some of the other countries in that, there's some pretty reasonable shipping overall. Unless you're getting into some of these other countries, Brazil and stuff, that gets kind of expensive. Okay, and then they have the loyalty credit that they talk about, and a little bit more on the company. So at this point, now I want to give you some of my breakdowns of it. So I have a list of things to hit on. So first off, the company's past history. So Vesuvius Media has done a number of Kickstarters in the past, and they've successfully funded and shipped a good portion of those. I think to date, I think they show it here, yes. So they've shipped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 completed games, and they're on their way to finishing up a couple more. So they have been around for a while, and they've done an excellent job of running and shipping Kickstarters. And I even did a video covering Noctorum. So that was a lot of fun. They did a good job on that game. So from their communication, so they are pretty active in the comment section. Let's take a look real quick and see how this looks. And we've got plenty of questions here. There's a creator in there, so answering those questions. So they look pretty active on the comment section. So if you have any questions, you're going to get probably an answer for them. Yep, they're very active. And as far as their past communication, I didn't have any issues with them, but I'm not a big stickler on communication as long as you update me every so often. I don't care if a game is delayed or if I have to wait extra time for the game, as long as you're communicating with me. And as far as I remember, I don't remember them having any issues with any of the Kickstarters that I've backed of theirs personally. And so I am pretty happy with how they've conducted themselves up to this point. From there, my thoughts on this one. So as you know, this one is a big one for me. I'm excited about it. Like I said, I've been following this one for a while before it was really put out there. I was talking with the designer about this one and was really excited to check this one out. So this is definitely one that I am very, very interested in. I love the art style. I love all the expansions that they're adding to this one, giving me, it looks like creative control on how I build my castle in that, which is neat too, potentially. I don't know if that's the case, but that's the way it appears with some of these expansions and that, adding towers and all that stuff. And being able to continually expand on this would be cool too. So seeing some expansion packs with maybe some additional bricks and stuff where you could make, really impressive castles would be kind of cool. I don't know if that's something that they're looking at doing down the road, or if you just have to buy additional base games, or if they're going to have an expansion pack out where you can just add new castle components to it. But this is definitely one that I'm interested in. And it seems like a very lighthearted game. It's probably going to be a good family game, easy to teach and learn. Doesn't look like it's going to be that complicated, and mainly it's just about destroying your opponent's castle, which is always cool. The next thing is Should they be on Kickstarter? So again, for me, I don't really mind that companies are on Kickstarter. It doesn't bother me, and I think it's a great way for companies to gauge the interest in games. I am also, of course, for brick and mortar stores. I don't want to rule them out, and I think it's very important to develop ways that both brick and mortar stores can coexist and work with companies for Kickstarters and that, so that they can stay alive, because obviously with us gamers, we love going to game stores, and I love playing at game stores. I've had some wonderful experiences with game stores in the past, so I don't want to see them go away. I think it's something that the game stores can work with and within. So I don't mind Kickstarter or companies being on Kickstarter. And again, like I said, I think it's a good way to gauge how games are received, and being able to provide those companies with the opportunity to bring new games out that maybe they wouldn't. Maybe this company a company would have put this game out, but just the base game, and depending upon how that sells, down the road, they might have looked at doing expansions, where in this situation, we're going to get to have all of that right from the get-go, and then maybe get more content down the road depending upon how this sells. So like I said, for me, I don't mind them being on Kickstarter. But again, of course, that is just my opinion. Finally, the big question, will I back? Absolutely. This is one that I am super excited about. I definitely want to add this one to my collection just for these nostalgia purposes, even though it's not the same game. It's a different type of game, but this is definitely one that I could definitely see sitting down, playing with my family, my brother, my wife, and just having a blast. I think she would be a wrecking ball in this game. So I'm definitely looking forward to putting this one on the table. I think this would be a wonderful game to do with my team, doing a live play or a Twitch stream or something like that too. I can't even imagine. I can even just picture all the craziness right now. So for me, absolutely, this is definitely a backing. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Is this one that you're looking at backing? Why or why not? And if these videos are helpful to you, if there's anything else you would like me to cover within these videos that would make them more valuable to you, or any other opinions or suggestions you guys have, I always love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Let me know. As always, if you find the videos helpful, if you like what I do, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to my channel. It really does make a big difference. It helps. It's one of the easiest ways you can help support channels like mine, and so that we can continue to grow and continue to produce this content for you. So until next time, I'll see you guys later.